Now that we know how to do a titration experiment, we're going to take a look at what the data from that titration experiment can tell us. So, the math and the calculations that are involved after the experiment. And so, in order to determine the molarity of either an acid or a base, depending on which one we are looking for, we're going to use the titration equation that's listed in Table T in our reference table. I've written it below. And I've added one thing. I've added this n value here, and then I'll talk about that in a second. But there are two equations on table T that have molarity in them. One is just the straight up molarity equation, finding the concentration, moles divided by liters. And a lot of times people try to use that equation when they're being asked to solve for a titration question. And in a titration question, the mole value that you see in the molarity equation is not going to be given to you. So that's going to be your clue that you're going to use this equation. And if we look at the variables that are defined here, Ma is the molarity of the acid. So you might be solving for that, you might know that. Va is the volume of the acid that you typically know or will be measured in the experiment. Mb is the molarity of the base. Vb is the volume of the base. And then our N value here. N stands for either moles of hydrogen ions or moles of hydroxide ions, depending on which side of the equation we're talking about. And that's important because of the units that end up coming out of this equation. So all I did here was I took the units of molarity, moles divided by liters, and I multiplied it by the volume units of liters. So we'd multiply the two values together, we're going to multiply the units. And when we do that for both sides of the equation, we end up with moles on each side because our volume cancels out. And that's important because we know in a titration experiment, neutralization is occurring. And when neutralization is complete, moles of hydrogen will equal moles of hydroxide. That's how we know the titration experiment has been completed. And so when these units cancel out the way they do, we end up with exactly that. So when we have N at play, that is because we need to take into account how many hydrogens and how many hydroxides are in each substance. So for example, if you have HCl, well, there's only one hydrogen there, so N would equal 1. However, if you have something like sulfuric acid, now you have two hydrogens for every one sulfuric acid. So in this case, our N value would be equal to 2. The same thing goes for bases. Sodium hydroxide, 1 hydroxide, N equals 1. Calcium hydroxide, N will equal 2 because there are 2 hydroxides. So that's all that N value is going to stand for. So what I'm going to do is walk you through two examples. One is a word problem without any titration experiment mentioned, and one is actual titration data. So the first example is just a word problem, and it doesn't even include the word titration. A lot of times people get thrown off by that, but it does include this word. So neutralization, you can assume you're going to use the titration equation. Not only that, if you read through, if you neutralize a 50 milliliter solution of 1.75 molar, so we've got a volume, we've got a molarity, and in this case, they're both going to be for the acids. Then we're going to neutralize that with 150 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, which is our base. So we have a volume of our base, and we want to know the molarity of the base. So we have all of the appropriate variables to plug in and use in our Ma equals Ma times Va equals Mb times Vb, and I will throw that N value in there, even though it is 1 for both of them. So when I solve, I'm going to do 1 times the molarity of the acid. So it's just really important that you keep the molarity of the acid with the appropriate volume, meaning the volume of the acid. And then my N value for my base is 1. The molarity of the base is what I'm solving for, and the volume of the base is given to me as 150 milliliters. So as far as solving goes, I'll pull my calculator up here. You're going to multiply everything on the left-hand side first. So on the left-hand side, I end up with 87.5 Okay, and my units would be molarity times milliliters. And then on the right-hand side, I don't really need the calculator because it's just 1 times 150. And I'm solving for my variable molarity. Now to solve for that, I divide both sides by 150 milliliters. Our milliliter units cancel out, and I am left with an answer of 5 point, that doesn't seem correct. I typed that in wrong. 87.5 divided by 150, there we go, is going to give me an answer of 0.583 molar. Okay, so even though this didn't mention titration data, you can assume it's titration. You'd have your 50 milliliters of your acid. You would know it's a 1.75 molar. Maybe you'd measure the 150 milliliters of sodium hydroxide, and then you'd need to determine the molarity. The second example, though, is a titration experiment. So if we read through this, a titration experiment is performed to determine the concentration of 20 milliliters of acid, and specifically nitric acid. So we can see N equals 1 because there's only one hydrogen. Bromethymol blue indicator is added to the acid, turning the acid solution a yellow color. So if you look at Table M will give you all of the indicators, and it lets you know that anything below a pH of 6 for bromethymol blue will be yellow. Since nitric acid is an acid, we can assume its pH is fairly low. A standard 1.5 molar potassium hydroxide solution, so there's our base, is placed into the burette and is added slowly until the acid in the flask turns green, indicating that neutralization has been reached. The initial reading of the potassium hydroxide and final reading of the potassium hydroxide are shown below. Calculate the concentration of the nitric acid. So we're going to be calculating MA. So if we look at our equation first, okay, N is 1 on both sides. And we're looking for this. So we have to solve for the concentration of our acid. We're given the volume of our acid right here, 20 milliliters. So we know that. We're given the molarity of our base right here. The volume of the base, this is what's measured in the experiment. So we're not explicitly given it in the problem, but we can scroll down to our burettes here. And this is a good practice for reading a burette, which we will have to do in your virtual titration lab. So the initial reading, we're reading the bottom of the meniscus, so the bottom of the curve right about here. I've kind of colored over it, so I will erase it so we can see it better. But here it's between 9 and 10. So we know our answer has to be 9 point something. And we can see that it's more than halfway. It's actually right below the line for 0.6. So we could estimate that it's 9.61. On the other side, the final reading, we're somewhere between 24 and 25. So we're going to call it 24 point. And we can see that we're just below the mark for 0.1, maybe halfway. So let's call it 24.15. And so the volume of the base that we actually used, as we can see in our data table here, okay, so our amount of nitric acid is 20 milliliters given in the problem. The initial reading is 9.61 milliliters. The final reading is 24.15, but we don't want either of these to put into our equation. What we want is the amount used. And if you subtract those, you end up with a value of 14.54 milliliters that are used. And that's what we can use in our equation. So if we have our titration equation, the molarity of the acid is what we're solving for. The volume of the acid is 20 milliliters. That was given to us in the problem. The molarity of the base is given to us in the problem as well. I forget what it is, 1.5 molar. And then the volume of the base is going to be 14.54 milliliters. And again, our n value is 1 for both of these, so it doesn't change anything numerically. So what we can do here is multiply everything on the right-hand side first. So we've got 1.5 times 14.54, which gives us 21.81. And then on the right-hand side, we're solving for MA times 20. So if we divide both sides by 21.81, I'm sorry, that is not correct. That is bad math. We would divide both sides by 20 since we're trying to solve for MA. So we divide both sides by 20, and 21.81 divided by 20 will give us an answer of 1.09. So the molarity of our acid is 1.09 molar. Okay, so what follows this are 3 practice problems. And what I'd like you to do is stop the video, solve these 3, and then at the end of the Ed Puzzle video, I'd like you to enter your answers for these 3 practice problems. So you will, as you're watching this video, you will come to the end, and before you can get credit for the video, you will have to enter the answers to these 3 practice problems.